George was stunned when a bear approached his boat. He was on the ocean to shoot some pictures for his documentary. He saw that the bear wasn't aggressive towards him. It looked like the bear needed some help from the fisherman. He decided to trust his guts and follow the bear. Then he saw it. George couldn't believe his eyes when he saw the island in the distance. It looked very mysterious. He just didn't know why the bear would lead him to the island. George told his crew to prepare for anything. This could be the beginning of something very interesting. They landed on the island. The bear looked content and worried at the same time. What was going on here? The bear led George into the forest. This made George feel a bit uneasy. The bear still did not show any sign of aggression, though. Then he saw it. George's mouth fell open from shock. The bear had led them to another bear. This female bear appeared pregnant. There was something else. It looked like it had trouble giving birth or straight up refusing. George immediately called the local veterinarian, who didn't know what she heard. She had never seen anything like this before. She quickly came by boat and made an ultrasound. She immediately called the police afterwards in shock. When the vet called the police, they told her that they would come her way immediately. This bear needed special help from more than just a vet. This bear needed surgery, as there was obviously something strange going on in its stomach. It might even be a life or death situation. When the police finally arrived, they helped the vet to sedate the now almost lifeless giant bear. But the police did not only help the vet, they also came to the George. "Sir, we need you to come with us. It is important." George was shell-shocked. What did he do wrong? George answered questions about himself and the bear. He has been a fisherman for many years now and never encountered anything weird. The police did not trust his story. When he was done with answering all the questions, he heard disbelief from the surgery room. "I can't believe this," said the vet. But what did the vet find inside the bear that he was so incredibly surprised by? For almost a year now, George has been fishing in this area to keep the balance in the ocean. He has been tasked by local authorities as well to preserve and protect endangered species. It has not been easy recently. Lots of shady figures were spotted in the waters. It has been a slow and difficult process for George and the other environmentalists to keep every animal safe. When George went for his usual route one day, he ended up seeing something enormous in the distance. At first, he thought he was just overworked and seeing things, but when he came closer, his mouth fell open. How could this be? What George saw scared him a lot. He even jumped back a little. George immediately had to urge to help the animal. There was definitely something very wrong. Then the bear approached George all by himself. He had never seen a bear swim like this towards a boat. He must have definitely come from close by, as bears do not stay that long in the water. George started to approach the bear. He was scared a bit, but his love for animals was stronger. He decided to call for more backup from other fishermen. When George talked to his superior, there was no question about it. Action had to be taken immediately. They had to save the animal from whatever was causing it to act this way. George definitely had to act fast. George followed the bear to an island. He urged his crew to stay behind just in case. As he encountered the pregnant female bear, he quickly signed his crew to help. With more fishermen quickly arriving, George started to slowly approach the bear. Bears are proud animals, so he had no idea how it would react to George. Then it turned to George. George sank for a minute. "Get back," yelled the other fishermen. They warned their George that the bear might act aggressively in this condition as he is trying to defend himself if he feels threatened. So the fishermen came up with another solution. They decided that they will have to call somebody and try to get a hold of the nearest animal veterinarian. When the call with the vet ended, the fisherman that called him reacted in full shock. The vet says that the fishermen have to get out of the immediate area of the bear, or he will definitely attack them. She asked the fisherman to do one thing before she could threat the bear: sedate it so they could take a closer look. George made sure he secured the area for the vet to safely get close. George took it upon himself to sedate the bear. Luck was on the side of the bear was very quickly sedated and did not seem to fight it. Now the fisherman could clearly see where the bulge of the bear was located on the body. George called back the vet, who was still not there, to report their finding. The rangers are curious about what they had to do next, but then the vet's tone changes immediately after hearing where the bulge is. The bulge was located on a very specific place in the body, at the start of the stomach, meaning that it is probably unable to enter the bear's body. But what could be inside this bear? The bear has obviously swallowed something it shouldn't have and probably required immediate surgery if it was to survive. There was no time to lose, but the fishermen didn't know what to do. So they asked the vet what they should do. Is she here within the crucial time? Or should they bring the bear to her? They hoped it was the first option, but for the vet, to get to the fisherman's location was a challenge in itself. because she did not know the exact location of the fisherman and the island. Next to that, it was also rush hour, so she would probably get stuck in traffic. But she had to get there as fast as possible to give the bear the best chance of survival. One of the fishermen proposed to pick her up, but that would take too long. But there were still people in the harbor who knew the fisherman's location exactly and how to get to the location. So the vet decided to visit the harbor. After explaining the situation, a manager was willing to help her, and they were going to use his ultra-fast speed boat to traverse the ocean, which is never easy. The vet experiences one hell of a ride. The bear's sedative wore out, and he had no intention of staying at his current place. He'd waited a long enough time and was trying to be on the move again. The fisherman did not know what to do next. The bear was still moving very slowly, so the fishermen were able to block its paths back into the depths of the forest with their blocks of wood. They couldn't sedate the animal again because they used all of their sedatives. The vet has a dose with her. But they had to stall for her. The animal was obviously getting irritated by this, and the fishermen had to be careful. The fishermen started to worry. Is this the right thing to do? A bear of this size, even if it was not in great condition, could easily kill one of them if it got hold of them. When the vet finally arrived at the site, the bear was still laying at the same place as where the fishermen kept her. But it became more and more obvious that this would not be the case for very long, as the bear had gotten really aggressive at this point. The fishermen did not even want to remove their wooden obstacles that they had put there to hold the bear in place, but the bear instantly targeted the fishermen that were still out in the open. Some fishermen took their obstacles away from the bear. They didn't want to get hurt. The vet had to act quickly and knew that the only chance here was if she could quickly sedate the bear. But seeing it so actively trying to attack the fisherman, the doctor had the confidence that it would survive the injection. The vet waited for the bear to have his head turned in the other direction. After that, she slowly approached the bear and swiftly injected the sedative into the bear's lower body. Now that they had to wait until the bear was fully sedated. Over the next couple of minutes, it slowed down more and more, and the vet was able to inject the bear with a couple of more sedatives, which were necessary for a bear this size go completely out. After a while, the bear was completely out. They'd faced possible death numerous times by now, so they were relieved that they survived. Now the vet could finally turn her attention to the big bulge on the bear that she actually came for. She takes her surgery kit out of the big Jeep from the ranger's headquarters and sets it up to get to work. She decided to make an ultrasound first. When looking at the ultrasound, she immediately called the coastal police. She had suspicions of strange activities. The police were apparently already in the area to assist with the surgery. George had to answer a few questions first. Why him? The vet can quickly confirm her suspicions that the object is stuck at the entrance to the bear's stomach by feeling its body. The object stuck in its body was something that the bear had swallowed and could not be broken down by the digestive system. The vet could only do one thing. At this point, there is nothing else to do but to carefully cut open the bear and get the object out of it. See, with the greatest precision and care, the vet cuts open the bear along with the bulge, and after getting through the skin, muscle, and esophagus, the source of the bulge is finally revealed to everybody. Out of the bear came a piece of fish that was not digested properly, which caused the swelling. Inside of the fish was something rather suspicious that baffled the vet at first. This was the reason why George had to answer the police. There was something glowing inside of the fish. There was a small microchip embedded inside of the fish. George told the officers that he had a feeling what this could be. He started explaining his past encounter with some shady figures recently here in the area. George had recently caught some poachers. They had some device with them. He confiscated it. He quickly ran to his truck and gave the officers the device. One officer immediately recognized the device. They had caught someone else with almost the same one recently. This device could be used to track the microchip. This way the poachers could easily locate the bear without the knowing. This was an advanced tactic used recently. The fish they had used couldn't be digested by the bear. That's why it got stuck. With the chip removed, the vet quickly starts stitching up the bear again. While she does this, she also makes sure that there was nothing else wrong with the bear. But he seemed to be healthy. She predicts that he would be back in shape in no time. It takes about a few minutes for the bear to wake up. It is still dazed and confused at first, but after a while it starts walking away a lot faster than it was before the surgery. After the bear was gone again in the forest with the other bear, the vet had one thing left that she needed to do. She thanked the fishermen for their incredible effort to keep the bear and themselves safe. After this, she went back to the city where she has more patients waiting for her. To make sure the bear was okay, the vet did one last thing. She made sure that George would keep her informed about the movements of the bear. George would keep an eye on the bear for her. The police made sure that the responsible poachers were caught. They actually managed to arrest the whole organization. The animals would be safe again.